So
We are
let's
now
go for it.
live on YouTube.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. We are opening our Personnel Commission meeting for Ukiah Unified School District. And we are in regular session. And we're authorized by the governor to be able to do this through the Zoom format. At this time, I would like to do roll call, or I would have Marty, our director, do roll call, please.
Commission Chair Kathy James.
Here.
Commissioner Martha Giacomini.
Here.
And sorry, I'm so tongue-tied today, forgive me. Commissioner Susan Scher.
Here.
Okay, welcome, everybody. Thank you, Marty. At this time, if we could do the Pledge of Allegiance. Martha, would you like to lead us, please?
Sure.
To the flag, the United States of America,
And to the
the
republic.
republic
Stand
for which it stands, one nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible, with
liberty and justice for all. Great. Thank you. And thank you for the flag. All right. Commissioners, I need an approval of today's agenda, please. I need a motion and a second.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I couldn't hear Martha, but I know what she said, so I'll second.
Okay. I couldn't hear her either for most of it. So I have a motion to approve today's agenda, and I have a second. So all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, Martha, I heard you.
Okay. You know, all.
Thank you.
It gets bad.
Okay, number 5 on our agenda is our organization updates, and this is a 3 to 5 minute time for anybody on the commission or district administration or CSEA to make a brief announcement or report on his or her own activities or to ask questions. Do we have any of those forms that were sent in to do that?
Not for organizational updates, and nothing for community input as well.
Okay, so being that you mentioned that, community input is number 6 on the agenda, and that's for the community to speak to items that aren't on today's agenda. But being that we have none, we'll just keep moving on in the agenda if you're all okay with that. Okay, the consent agenda is number 7, and included in that is the approval of the minutes from last meeting. I wasn't at the last meeting, so I won't vote, I guess, on the consent agenda because that's part of it.
You can exclude that one item.
Okay, so why don't we
Vote
do
on it
that?
separately.
Yeah, let's vote on, let's exclude the consent item approving last month's meeting minutes. And I need a motion doing that and a second, and then we'll move on to the minutes.
So I move to approve today's consent agenda with the exclusion of item 7.1, approval of the minutes from the March 23rd, 2021 meeting.
Okay. And do I have a second?
I second that.
Thank you. So all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay, and then I need a motion to pass, approve the minutes for the March 23rd, 2021 meeting, which I wasn't at, so I will not vote on, but I need a motion and a second.
I'd like to make a motion to approve minutes of the March 23rd meeting.
I second.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for March 23rd, 2020 meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, and I abstain. So motion passes for that. So we're gonna keep moving right along. Our reports, our next items, and Nicole, I got a text or an email from Nicole Gensler, our Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, that she would not be able to attend the meeting. But was she gonna send somebody?
Me to read if you would like me to do so.
Okay, that would be great, Marty, if you wouldn't mind doing that now.
Okay, she wanted to report that most of our students are now able to go to in-person instruction 4 days a week.
Oh,
This
wow.
is due to changing guidelines. Very exciting. So many people are so very happy. In partnership with the City of Ukiah and the Mendocino County Public Health, we are very excited to offer a drive-up COVID-19 vaccination clinic for Ukiah Unified students ages 16 through 18 on Saturday, May 1st of 2021. The clinic is open to all UUSD households for those that are 16 or older in the household. The intent of the clinic is to vaccinate as many of our students who want to be vaccinated and the household family members of those students 16 and over. So the district staff have been working diligently to make contact with those families to try and get them registered and scheduled for that vaccination clinic.
So the clinic, they have to have students who live in the home?
Last I heard, yes, if they have students who live in the home that are 16 or older, anybody 16 or older in that entire household can be vaccinated.
Okay, that's great.
I'm hearing that they are hoping to open it up to staff members' families as well, but I haven't gotten that confirmation yet. But if I hear that, I will let you know.
Do you have any idea what percentage of our staff has been vaccinated?
Last I heard, I thought it was around 80, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
It was quite significant.
Okay, great. And this is May 1st, at what time and where?
It is, I don't have the specific detailed information, but I can contact you if you would like.
Okay.
Or if anybody watching this has a student 16 or older that would like to be on that list or signed up for it, to contact the District Service Center, the 472-5000, and someone here will get you signed up.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah. Did Nicole have more?
Yeah, just a little bit more. She said that they're planning for summer school or summer camp, and many employees have indicated that they would like to work in the summer positions. So they're trying to sort through and determine seniority and eligibility and all that good stuff. So I think they're doing a phenomenal job. And then last but not least, COVID testing continues in the district. We're still here in the District Service Center. They do testing twice a week, and I know that they do that throughout many of the sites as well as for students.
This is for employees, right? Not households.
Right.
Okay.
It's just very exciting.
Yeah, it's very needed, probably.
Yes.
Good. All right. Any questions about Nicole's presentation? Okay, Marty, I believe this is your turn now.
Thank you. I sent you the kind of PC office happenings, lots going on here that we've talked about. The 3-week wait period has really been a burr under many saddles. And so I did some more research and found a way that as long as we are sending out to sites our exam schedule at least once a month, then we don't have to wait that 3-week period from between posting and interviewing. And so if you don't mind, I'd like to share a sample on my screen, a sample of the weekly, we're sending it out weekly, that's the exam calendar. So you can kind of see what staff are posting at their sites. So we have the week ending April 30th on this one, the exam calendar. It talks about paraprofessional and bilingual translation exams will be administered Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then as certain positions pop up, like we have a secretary 2 that closed today or yesterday. And it kind of talks about when interviews will be held, so staff have an idea. Obviously, bus drivers, custodians, and paraprofessionals are ongoing and constant. So that's kind of the disclaimer for that one. Applications must be submitted on Indeed. Enter Ukiah Unified in the Find Job box, or on EdJoin. And then there's a little kind of footnote that if people are looking for additional hours, we created a new job form. Let me see if I can get job interest form. It's a Google Doc. Are you seeing the pencils at the top of the paper, or is it? Okay.
Yes, yes.
This is what the hope is that if staff are interested in different types of position, at the beginning of next school year, we'll send this out and let them know that this is good for 1 year. We will keep this on file. They can update it as frequently as they want. But what it does is it prompts us that if we know they're interested in a particular position, then we will make sure that they've gotten the notice and kind of remind them of what's required for the position. So as you can see here, there's, classified management, and they can check whatever boxes interest them, classified exempt, classified confidential, and they're grouped by job classification. So we have clerical, instructional support, food services, technology, maintenance and operations. And then when they're done, they can send themselves a copy so they know what they submitted, so they, have proof.
That's genius.
So we're really excited about it. And then, Lori has her folders that she uses, so she could just make a copy when, something comes up of their interest in it, and we'll follow up with them.
That's really a great idea.
Thank you. We were just having a hard time making sure that we really want to make sure our employees are given as many opportunities as possible and expanding on their interests. When we receive an in-house application, we send out a notice to the employee saying that we've received their application and recommending that they submit a letter of introduction, a resume, and up to 3 letters of recommendation, as well as transcripts or training certificates that relate to that job description. And we attach a copy of the job description to the email, and then tell them that if they need assistance, that we have some great resources on our webpage and with the links there, and also let them know that Lori and I are available if they need additional information or assistance. On the PC web page, under the information and resources link, one down here towards about 2/3 of the way down says improving your opportunities for employment advancement. It covers cover letters, resume writing. There's like a template of, questions. When you're trying to get letters of recommendation, you just fill it out and send it to the person that you're requesting the letter from. And we encourage them to include the job description so that the person writing the letter can do a great job. And then there's some really great resources from TransferMind, tried and true ways to make moves in your career. And a new one I just found was presenting yourself performance and fashion, and there's lots of tips about interviewing, what to wear, how to overcome nervousness, stuff like that. So anyways, we're really excited about all of that good stuff.
Great.
That's, how have you got that out to the staff though, so they know that's available?
We periodically, like I said, I email I email them with the links to that information and resources and tell them to look for that section. And then periodically we'll send out an email to UUSD all, just kind of updating them of the new things that we add to the website to help them out.
Right.
And then last but not least, we had some requests for PC rules, and we're finding it a little bit, it was a little bit cumbersome when you're looking for a rule. So now on our website as well, there's a link to our PC rules, and when you click on it, this cover comes up, as well as the preface that we had talked about previously, stating that Ed Code trumps anything that's in here. So just make sure that that is perfectly clear right from the beginning. And then you go down to the table of contents. So if you're looking for, let's see here, examinations, you could click on examinations and it pulls up that group of personnel commission rules. So you're not downloading a 500-page.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay.
You can,
That's-
you can click on examination and that particular batch of rules will come up. In a
Very
PDF
efficient.
format.
Yeah. Very efficient.
21st century.
So
Yeah.
anyways, then, we're looking for feedback, we're just always trying to find new ways to make our, our services more user-friendly. So those are the biggest things that we've done this month.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's amazing, Marty.
Really. I mean, what customer service to the employees?
Well, we're trying to make it really user-friendly. So
Well,
Good job.
congratulations. I think you did.
thank you.
Question?
Question, you said, Martha?
Yeah. What mean?
Martha, we can't hear you.
Then, let's see,
There we
Yeah,
go.
I think you'll need to.
right?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Much better.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. So Marty, is this almost like an open testing instead of waiting for the position to come? You already are, you're just making lists for different jobs and testing? So that you-
Exactly.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and so what'll happen is that if a say account tech position comes open and someone submitted that they're interested in an account tech position, then we notify them and say, okay, here's the link to the job. You need to apply, on Indeed or EdJoin, and you need to submit these documents to be eligible. Because what happens is a lot of our employees who've worked for the district for a long time don't realize that when they're interviewing, that's your opportunity to provide the panel with background information and your experience and knowledge. And if all they have a piece of paper saying, yes, I want this job, it makes it really tough. So we're just trying to help our employees to really shine and sing their own praises and help the panel by providing them some background information that may or may not always come out in our interview questions that the panel have.
And then how long is the list good for?
It's good for 1 year. So when they submit that list of positions that they're interested in, we make it very clear. It is only good until June 30th. And then those go away and we start with a fresh list July 1st.
Okay. Yeah, that's fantastic, Marty. That's, thinking
Yeah,
outside the
what-
box. Yeah,
Boy, no kidding.
yeah.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Yes.
Any other questions? Any other things you wanna, are you there, Susan?
I'm here, yes.
Oh, did you have a question?
Yeah, Marty, I was just curious. I thought it was cute that the name of summer school was changed to summer camp.
Yes.
Do you think that encouraged more employees to apply? Like they'll have more fun now that it's camp and
I think they're hoping for more
I think,
kids.
yeah, that in part, but more so than anything, it's as, you know, we continue to expand, employees, I think they missed and they recognize the benefit that, or the benefit that they could possibly provide to our students due to the distance learning. So, and it's an opportunity to earn, you know, money over the summer that they wouldn't normally be
yeah,
able to do.
yeah.
So, and I know a lot of families are struggling.
Mhm.
Prices are going up.
They are. It's
Yeah.
scary.
Well, I'd also like to point out that Nicole has a birthday on Thursday, and Martha, you're right behind her, May 1st.
Oh, May
Happy
Day, baby.
birthday.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, Marty, are you done with your report?
I am. Thank you.
Okay, so, okay. Going to our agenda items having to do with discussion and or action. 9.1 is the adoption of resolution, the recognition of classified employees. Do you want me to read that?
I was gonna say, would you like me to read it into the
Yeah,
record?
that would be better for me because of my eyesight, if you wouldn't mind.
Not at all. Ukiah Unified School District Personnel Commission Resolution Number 01-2021 proclaiming Classified Employee Week, May 16, 2021. Let's see. Whereas the education of youth is essential to the future of our community, state, country, and world, and whereas classified employees are the unsung heroes who play key roles in creating a school environment that contributes to the whole child by promoting student achievement, safety, and health. And whereas classified employees have proven to be essential workers serving students and schools during the COVID-19 pandemic. And whereas this school year, more than ever, classified employees wear many hats, filling in when and where needed. And whereas classified employees are integral to the success of students and public education. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Ukiah Unified School District Personnel Commission proclaim May 16th of 2021 through May 22nd of 2021 to be Classified Employee Appreciation Week. And be it further resolved that the Ukiah Unified School District Personnel Commission strongly encourage all members of the community to join in this observance, recognizing the dedication and hard work of these individuals.
Nice.
Wow, that's very nice.
Oops.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So,
Sorry about that.
are you gonna need help getting out? I don't want to talk about what we're doing. I don't know if that's gonna give away anything or not.
I will contact you. I think Lori and I have a really good handle on it. So as we get closer, we'll know more. This week has been kind of crazy. We had 9 positions close all on the same day. So
Wow.
trying to schedule all those interviews was a little chaotic, but we're getting through it. So we're very
Okay,
excited.
well, call me if you need some help.
I will. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, so we need to vote on this, correct?
Yes.
So I need a motion and a second, please.
I move to adopt the resolution recognizing Classified Employees Week. May 16th through May 22nd, 2021.
I second that.
I have a motion and a second approving recognition of Classified Employee Week. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you. 9.2 on our agenda is proposed revisions to PC Rule 421.8 through 2 through 4 paid leave days.
This is the second reading of the changes. There were, I think Susan caught or a probationary employee in the last sentence, so that needed to go away. So that was added since the last reading, but other than that, it's still
Mhm.
the same.
Okay. Any discussion?
Yes, I do. I do have just one other little anal thing that caught my eye.
Mhm.
The very last sentence, upon a resignation or separation from the district by either substitute employee. So I think
You're
either
right.
needs to be taken out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you, Susan. So we need to bring this back, or do we just correct it that way in the motion?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, any other comments to this item?
And what are we taking out in the last sentence?
The word either in the
Either.
second to the last line.
Okay. Oh, sure, yes.
So do you want to move, Martha? Do you want me to?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed revisions to PC Rule 421.8-2-4 paid leave days with the either taken out.
Okay,
The word
do I have
either.
a second, please?
I second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 9.3, proposed revisions to PC Rule 421.14, and that reads personnel necessity leave.
Right, so again, this is a second reading of this rule or recommended revisions to the rule for legal counsel. The biggest thing was that we could not require pre-approval for the first two, and so it was recommended to make sure that they were numerated and state that, except for those two. Advance notice is required, and the definition of immediate, or I'm sorry, yes, immediate family.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay,
So
and this
Marty,
is,
did you take out then, there was a separate section about adoption. Is that now just combined with everything else?
So 421.15-5 is birth, adoption, and childcare of the member. There were only specific items in the ed code that referred to immediate family, and that was
Mhm.
illness of an immediate family, accident involving, or death of. And so I guess the assumption is that the birth, adoption, and childcare affects the employee as well as their immediate family.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
streamlines it nicely. I think this is much better.
okay. So does that mean we can move to a motion?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead, Susan.
Okay, so I move to approve the proposed revisions to PC Rule 421.14 personal necessity leave.
Okay, and do I have a second, please?
I second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second, so all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. All right. 9.4 is a discussion, and it's a proposed revisions to PC Rule 408.1 and 408.6-1 examinations.
Right, as I stated earlier, we did some more review of the education code about notices of examination and what exactly the requirements are, as well as what they look like. I'm very fortunate because we belong to a listserv of other merit districts, so I posed to the group how they satisfy this. Do they post all jobs for 15 business days? Or do they, if they don't, what is it that they post that meets the criteria of section B1 of Education Code 54278? And so we I was given a couple of samples, ran it past council, and so that's when we came up with the version that I showed you earlier that shows the weekly examinations. It was easier for me just to send out the weekly examinations because then I could, update people about any job openings that had opened during the week or that would close that week, and give them a better idea of when we would be interviewing for it and when they needed to submit their letters and or resumes and other qualifying documents.
Okay.
There's something I'm not getting, and maybe I'm just not reading it right, Marty, on the PC Rule 408.1 holding of examinations. The very end of that first sentence, the commission may direct the holding of an examination to provide eligibles. To provide eligibles what? Is there something missing?
Very good question. I will see what fell off of that.
It looks
Yes,
like
it is
something fell off. That's a good way to put it. There must be provided something.
Right.
Where did you see that?
Yeah.
So PC Rule 408, the one that says holding of examinations at code 45278. So go to you see that paragraph?
Mm-hmm.
The
So
sentence, second sentence, no,
Yeah.
it's actually the
well,
end of
it's a
the
long
first
sentence. The third line of that paragraph, starting with the commission may direct. So the way it reads is the commission may direct the holding of an examination to provide
Oh, I see.
eligibles.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So they must be provided something.
Uh-huh.
You know what it is that period should not be there, and it should say to provide eligibles public notice of such examination.
Oh.
So
yeah.
I will fix that. Thank you for catching that.
So
Oh,
that
then you
means,
need to take out the shall be too then.
Right, yes,
and also the capital to public.
Yeah.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
Public no. Oh, so the sentence would end after examination.
right. So the period should go away, public should be lowercase, and examination, yes.
That'll be the end of the sentence. Okay.
But what about posted at each site electronically?
Right, examination shall be posted at each site,
Right.
distributed electronically.
Yeah, that has to stay.
So wouldn't that be a new sentence?
Yes, it would, but I see what you're looking at, and I will make it flow better because clearly
Yeah, it shouldn't
it
be
used
hard.
to say something and then, right,
Okay, yeah, I think it needs to be a different sentence too. Okay. Well, we have to bring it back anyway, so this is
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think it was supposed to be, will provide eligibles notice, and then
Mhm.
public notice of such examinations shall be posted at each site and distributed.
Oh, yeah, if you just add
Yeah.
notice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that makes sense.
That totally makes sense now.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Are we good? Shall we move on?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. 9.5 is a discussion item, and it is the proposed revisions to PC Rule 427.2, which is prohibited record entries.
This is a first reading. And this is like the last piece of legal counsel's review. And she expressed concern that that it is not permitted or required to suffer notation. She says that there's nothing in FEHA that says that, and that she recommended it be changed to your generic non-discrimination. But I also noticed that the board policy and administrative regulations cover non-discrimination in employment. And so in essence, this could just be eliminated altogether.
The whole item?
Yeah, rule 427.2, it's redundant and
It is.
not necessary.
Mhm.
And, you
Yeah,
know, the
that's a
whole
good
point
point.
of wanting legal counsel to review was, what are those things in our PC rules that aren't necessary and that we could eliminate? Some I will fight for because I know that they're covered in the bargaining agreement, but not all employees are covered by bargaining agreements, even though the district is amazing at being equitable. But you know, this has a board policy which does cover everyone.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
All right.
I had to laugh at that language. It sounds so antiquated. The
It
way that
does.
we
Oh, yeah.
take out, Marty, the suffer any notation.
Yes.
What does that
Yes.
mean?
It is
Sounds
very
like something
antiquated.
from, Old English.
Yeah, yeah, it does. All right, moving on. 9.6 is a discussion item, and it's proposed revisions to PC Rule 428.1 entitled Rights of Public School Employees.
Right. So this again is a first reading, and oh, when this was originally copied, it looks like the part that was copied is relevant to the organization, not necessarily the employee portion of it. So it was recommended that we revise it to what it should be. And that's the part that's in the blue, that public
Oh, okay.
school employees shall have the right to form and join, instead of the rights of the actual bargaining unit or organization.
Is that because of the Janus?
I
The
believe
Supreme
so.
Court decision that said the unions can't require collective bargaining fees
Right.
from people who choose not to join.
But more importantly, when you look at the very first part, the PC rule right now says employee organizations shall have the right to represent. So it's talking about the organization's rights, not the employee's rights. And so we need to fix that.
Okay.
So the top piece would be replaced by the recommended revision at the bottom of the page.
Okay, so there's nothing that says that, I mean, I don't like this decision at all. I think it's horrible, but
Yeah.
there's nothing that says that the unions will require fees from people who don't choose to join.
I don't believe so. And if there was, it would be in the bargaining agreement. It really doesn't need to be in the
It
PC.
doesn't need to
Oh,
be in the PC
okay.
rules, right?
Right.
The PC rules is more about the employees' rights to organize as opposed to the organization's rights over the employees.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think I saw it was in the government code. So
Right.
I said that sort of raised a red flag. Why is that in the government code? You think it would be revised by now?
Yeah, well, and it was just revised in 2009, which, you know, it's a few years ago, but
Oh, but this decision came out in 2018. So I
Right.
wonder,
Okay,
there must,
yeah.
I
I was
know, I
wondering
thought
when
so.
that
I
came
couldn't
out.
find it
Yeah.
now, but I know, I don't know. There was something about that they have to pay fees. Where did I see that?
In this document?
In the government code section?
Yeah, it
Well-
says to join a recognized employee organization or to pay the organization
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah,
fair
yeah,
share service
Pay.
fee.
right. So
Yeah,
that,
Right.
Right.
that
yeah,
shouldn't be
I
in
had
it.
that underlined also.
Yeah, because they're stuck with this Supreme Court decision, even though it's federal, not state. It's the
But
law
the
of the
government,
land.
the government code will not be included. It would only be the section under the recommended revision.
Oh,
Which-
you just put that in for our information.
Exactly.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
all right.
all right.
All right, that's.
That
better.
makes sense now.
So the
Okay.
recommended revision would go into 428.1.
Right.
Okay, that would be the change
And
itself.
the government code would not be included. It was just for your information only.
Okay,
Oh, okay,
Okay. Okay,
okay.
all right. 9.7 is a discussion item and it's review the second draft of our Personnel Commission 21-22 budget proposal. And this is what went to the board, correct?
Exactly. So
Mhm.
after our last meeting, I had an opportunity to meet with fiscal services. They, you know, made a suggestion for a few minor changes. But overall were fine, took it to the board for their review and input. They accepted it and did not have any recommendations for changes, as well as they accepted the annual report. And so if there are any questions or any other changes that you would like to see before I send it to the county office before the end of May deadline.
Are those, the salary raises, are those the cost of living increases?
In part, yes. So some of it is step and column increases. So for years of service, the steps, and then the cost of living adjustments.
Oh, okay.
So the copy costs, Marty,
Mhm.
or rather the advertisement cost,
Yes.
it's considerably more than,
Well,
and you must realize that, I guess, prices are going
no,
up.
in
No?
reality, it's the same as what we adopted last year. What you're looking at is what we spent, the first column is what we spent in 2019-20.
Mhm.
And the next column is what we adopted last year for this year. And
Mhm.
then the next column is the first interim revised budget. So obviously we weren't spending as much as we had anticipated.
Right.
So we reduced our budget. And then the gray column is what was actually spent for about the first, what is that, 2/3 of the year, just to kind of get an idea of what we were looking at. And then in comparison to the proposed budget. And then the last column is the percentage change from the revised budget and what is being proposed.
So we're going back to the 29 figure that we had last year.
Right,
That's my question.
right.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Okay. And then the other question I had was regarding the travel and conferences.
Uh-huh.
We're just gonna stick with that a little less than what we had figured before. Or
Right.
no? Yeah,
A lot of agency or organizations that do the training and conferences are continuing to do virtual, but then there are some big ones that are trying to go back to, they feel like in-person conferences, people get more out of it and are more participatory. So I anticipate, I've already heard from, I think CODIS and the California School Personnel Commission Association and CASBO are all looking at having in-person conferences in the fall. So it won't be until later in the 2021 or 21 year,
mhm,
or maybe it's
Okay.
spring, I should say.
Okay. All right, well, looks good to me. Any other comments or questions from commissioners?
Looks fine with me too.
Okay,
Yes, me too.
I'm sorry about my house phone back there.
I need to run out and bring my dog inside. I'll be right.
Okay. So, we're gonna be going. Oh my God, I don't know how many rings I have on that. I think it's done. Okay. Okay. All right. So number 10 on our agenda is open items, and this is a public comment regarding anything that is going to be talked about in closed session.
And we received no forms or no
Okay.
requests.
Okay, so I think at this point, we could go into closed session. And this will end our open session to our meeting. We will come back in open session after we've finished in closed session.